What's up, you guys? Yugioh here. I know I have not made a video in quite some time. I have been busy with my because that's a holy word. My summer college classes. I just got done with my math class last week on Wednesday at the time of me recording this video. I had to take my final. I did well, passed the class with an A, so I'm happy about that. So I start my fall term on the 24th, so I won't have a whole lot of time on my hands, but I mean, it's college, and I mean, it's not really a whole lot of work, hopefully. So I should still be able to have time to make videos for you guys. And I do need to get on a schedule. I've just been busy with, I worked like 17 hours this past week, so, and I'm working like another 14 hours this upcoming week at my job. So it's just been craziness. But I did pick up a Spellgrounds mat. It's really zoomed in, so you guys can't see the whole thing. But it is a Spellgrounds mat. Very sexy. Got it from a buddy of mine for 70 bucks. So shout out to my friend, yeah, I love it. It makes me feel like I'm an elite, it makes me feel like a badass, and yeah, so I figured I'd bring you guys my Red Eyes deck that I've been working on for quite some time now to you guys, because I know that y'all have been waiting patiently for a video from me, and I do appreciate y'all's patience. I've just been really busy. I tried streaming on Twitch the other day and I posted a video, but by the time I deleted it, it didn't get any views, and then the server shut down on the Black Ops 3 server, so I didn't really have a lot of footage anyway on Twitch to stream off of, which kind of sucked, but it was whatever. So anyway, I want to dive right into this deck. I want to say right now that there are a few cards missing, and as I go through the deck, I will mention that, both in the extra deck and the main deck, because I haven't been able to find the cards, unfortunately, but I really want to put this video out for you guys, so I apologize if you guys don't like that stuff. But the deck is still complete regardless. So I have to say that this is probably the most edited deck I have ever done for starters. And yes, those are sexy original Red Eyes, is two of them. But yeah, I have to say that this is probably the #1 deck that I've edited the most. Usually I just net deck a deck and make a couple changes to it according to my playstyle, and I'm good to go. But the thing is that I've noticed with Red Eyes is that there's a lot of different ways that you can go with it. You could do a ritual build, you can do a fusion build, an exceed build, a burn build even, which is what I've been thinking about making. But I feel that this build that I'm about to show you guys is probably one of the better ones on YouTube. Like, I saw this one build from this guy, and like, he was playing 2 Red Eyes fusion, and his reasoning behind it was that you can only fuse from your hand or deck or your side of the field, but you have to pick one, and I'm like, no, you're incorrect on that ruling, sir. So, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that only incompetent people are playing the deck. Like, I think Cyber Knights was the best build that I've seen on YouTube. So I took Cyber Knights build, and I took Team Shockwave's build, and I kind of almost made a hybrid of the two in a sense, but edited it more towards my playstyle. So, but anyway, with that out of the way, let's finally jump into this deck here. So we have 2 Red Eyes Black Dragon and 2 Summon Skull, the OG boss monster. What is nice about this is that you're running 2 and 2, so you're running triple Red Eyes fusion, so these are pretty much always going to be live. Yes, they can be a little bit dead if they're in your hand, and I was running the Red Eyes Archfiend, but I ended up cutting it just because you want to have an equal amount of high levels, because when you get high levels in your hand, you're going to most likely end up losing the game because you're just going to end up bricking. So that's a thing. So keeping the monster count low is good. But if you need, for whatever reason, a big beat stick on board, you can just sack off one of your monsters for like a Summon Skull or something, or a Red Eyes, and sit on it. So anyway, that is your vanillas. I'm trying to center this right. There we go. And then for the other monsters, we have 2 Blackstone. I only ordered 2 in the mail because originally my build was only going to play 2. 2 is fine. Some builds play 3. It all depends on player preference. I like 2. They're recyclable, so I mean, it's not like running 3 is really going to help you out that much in my opinion. It's just going to end up kind of hurting you more than anything. So I feel that 2 combined with the 1 King Kabayu that I play helps recycle them even more and gives you access to rank 1 plays in the form of Ghost Trick Dullahan. And then we're playing 2 of the Black Flare. I was playing 2 Red Eyes and 3 Black Flare. Black Flare is freaking busted, but you don't want this to be dead, because you have to keep in mind that this is only a normal monster while face on the field or in the grave, because it is a Gemini, not Gemini. Some guy, the guy that I was telling you that had his ruling wrong on Red Eyes Fusion was calling these Geminis. They're Geminis, for God's sakes. Stop calling them Geminis. They are called Geminis. But yeah, so This card is good, but you know you can't use Red Eyes Fusion. You can't use well, you can use Red Eyes Fusion with this, but you can't use this as a material from the deck. It has to be on the field, and if it's already on the field, then you're most likely not going to want to get rid of it off the field. So that's why we're only playing 2. And this is also a player preference card. We're playing 2 black metal. Some people have played 3. I'm kind of leaning towards 3. I'm still kind of testing out 2. It's kind of there when I need it, but I'm also, like I said again, I want to bump it up to maybe 3. The ability that this card gives you is just so busted. The fact that you can be able to search out Red Eyes Fusion, Red Eyes Black Dragon, any sort of Red Eyes card is just really, really, really good. And this is something that I was going to list as 2 of. I just couldn't find it. 2 Red Eyes Wyvern. I couldn't find my other Wyvern. Wyvern is very good. The fact that you can just, like, you open up a hand, like what I did earlier was I opened up like Dragon Shrine and like a bunch of other spells and like a high level monster or something, and I had like 1-for-1. I used 1-for-1, pitched the Wyvern in my hand to get out Blackstone, tributed Blackstone for Black Flare, and then I brought it out with Black Flare. This is when I was using just Team Shockwave's build, so it had Polymerization in it. Played Polymerization, fused the Summon Skull and Black Flare in my hand for an Archfiend, and then I could have gone, I actually didn't do this because I wanted to keep the monsters in my graveyard. I could have gone Wyvern, banished to get Black Flare out of my grave. So plays like that are just really, really, really nutty. So we are playing 2 of him. It's not just 1. We are playing 2. I just couldn't find the other one. And then 1, Keeper of the Shrine. It's basically a dumbed-down version of Red Eyes Tracer Dragon. Keeper of the Shrines will probably be going out of most people's builds once we get it in Dimension to Chaos, just because it's basically a better version of Keeper of the Shrine. It does have a 2100 ass, which is amazing, and the fact that if you're sitting with like dead Red Eyes cards in your hand, you can just set this, and then they attack into it, they're going to take damage, and then you can just sack this off, treat it as 2 tributes, and then get out like Black Flare or Red Eyes from your hand and kind of make your hand less dead, and just kind of beat them over with 2400. So it's pretty good for that. And then we're playing 1 not Black Flare, 1 Red Eyes Darkness Metal. It's meh. I mean, you want to keep your stuff in the graveyard. You don't want to have to be banishing any of your Red Eyes monsters. So this has been kind of meh, so you know, take it for what you want, kind of a player preference card. This is because I don't have a 3rd Blackstone, but it still actually works really well because we're playing Kinkabayu in the extra deck. We're playing Ghost Trick Delahan in the extra deck. 1 Kinkabayu. The fact that you can recycle this every turn and you don't have to get Blackstone back to your hand and then summon it next turn. This is just another way to recycle your Blackstones. Just, you know, if you don't have any cards to normal summon out of your hand, you can just normal summon out Kinkabayu, keep your deck thinned out instead of having to shuffle cards back and making your deck count higher. Just bring out Blackstone and constant recycle your Red Eyes cards that are in your deck, and then this will bounce back to your hand, and then next turn, if you don't use Kinkabayu, you can just put a Red Eyes in your deck, and then put Blackstone in your hand, and then you have plays for next turn. This also recycles your Red Eyes, or your Black Metal Dragon too. So, I believe Kinkabayu negates the effect of the monster that it summons. Special 1 level 1 monster from your graveyard. Okay, no, it doesn't negate the effects. So you can summon this to get out Black Metal, and then at the end phase, Kinkabayu is going to bounce back to your hand, and Black Metal will pop, and then Black Metal gets you a search. So if you have a backup plan to have monsters on the board, or if you're already established, it's a good way to keep your field established. I'm talking way too fast in this video. And then this is also supposed to be 2 of, for whatever reason, I can't find my other Veilers, but there's supposed to be 2 Veilers here. Veiler is really good because it gives you access to synchro plays, and it's also just a really good hand trap to stop Necroz and everything else, because this deck really is just beat your opponent over the face as fast as you can. Deck. Like there's been a lot of situations where it's just been Black Skull Archfiend the deck. You make Archfiend Black Skull Dragon, I meant to say. You make him and you just sit on him, and then you just keep on doing a bunch of damage. So Veiler's in there for that reason. Like I said, again, we are playing 2, and I'm trying to center that, but anyway. And we are playing the triple Red Eyes Fusion. I really, really like Red Eyes Fusion. Some people play 2, I'm sorry, but those builds are bad. Some play 1. Those builds are really bad. I'm just saying, if you're playing 1, I don't know what you're doing with your life. If you're not playing any, I really don't know what you're doing. You have to play 3 of this guy. Yes, you can't normal summon or special summon any monsters. You can still set. So if you have a Black Metal in your hand, you can set it. I don't know why you would do that, but you could. But 3 Red Eyes Fusion, it's your heart and soul of the deck. It's your MVP. It's your Shaddoll Fusion. You have to play 3. It's really, really, really good. And then we're also playing 2 Dragon Shrines. Some people play 3. This is, again, player preference. This just helps to deck thin. It's really good, especially whenever you're going second, which is what you want to mostly do with this deck, is go second. You can play Dragon Shrine, send Red Eyes, and then send Wyvern, or go activate Dragon Shrine, send Red Eyes, send Blackstone, get Blackstone back to your hand, shuffle with Red Eyes, activate Red Eyes Fusion, send Red Eyes and summon Skull, make a card, and then you have Blackstone in your hand for next turn. And then I meant to order 3, only ordered 2, which it's all good. 2 cards of the Redstone. I actually kind of like 2. 3 can be kind of cloggy, and you want this deck to be as consistent as possible. So 2 cards of the Redstone. It's just a very good draw engine card. You know, play 2 to 3. It's really, again, another player preference card. And because this deck loves to go ham in the life points, we got to be playing MST. You got to do something to get rid of back cards, because floodgates are going to shut you down. Cards like macro are really going to ruin your day, so you have to use something to get rid of your opponent's back row. And then we're playing 2 Silver Scry to recycle our Geminis and our Red Eyes, because it's good. And then 1 Dragon's Mirror, because it's really fun to go into first of the dragons, 5-headed dragon, and then just pull like an Archfiend Black Skull Dragon out of your ass out of nowhere. So yeah, really good for that reason, and it doesn't have that backdraw of Red Eyes Fusion where you can't normal summon or set afterwards, so you could like, even for example, normal summon a Blackstone Tribute, get out a Red Eyes monster, they bottomless it, sure, that's cute, Dragon's Mirror, make Archfiend Skull Dragon, and swing for 32. And then we're playing 1 for 1, because pitch a dead high-level monster in your hand, get out Blackstone, and then put a big beater on board. Then we got 1 Regeki and 1 Book of Moon, because I don't like the faces of other people's cards. I heard that a long time ago in a deck profile. But anyway, for the traps, we have 1 Compulse, 1 Ring of Destruction, because Red Eyes like to burn people, so this just kind of adds to that effect. 1 Warning, 1 Bottomless, 1 Torrential, and because it is better than Return of the Red Eyes, Double Call the Haunted. Shout out to Cyber Knight for that. Yeah, Double Call is just far better than Return of the Red Eyes. It's what Return of the Red Eyes isn't. Like, it's just strictly better. Like, you don't have to have a Red Eyes monster on board to get it to trigger. You can just activate it whenever you want. So, and then you could also use Call the Haunted to get back, like, say, Black Metal, and then get a search. So it's good for that. Now for the extra deck, we have 2 Black Skull Archfiend, 1's ulti, 1's ultra. Super sexy on this sexy spellgrounds. But yeah, and then we're also playing 1 Black Skull Dragon. This can be a 3rd Archfiend Black Skull if you have it. I just had this in here because of the fact that Fusion Conscription was being used in the Team Shockwave build. But if you guys have a 3rd Archfiend Black Skull, go ahead and throw it in. But, you know, Black Skull Dragon, that OG boss Fusion monster. But yeah, again, this deck is still kind of a work in progress, especially in the extra deck. I'd say the main deck is kind of solidified from what I've explained. Extra deck kind of, I think, still needs a little bit more work. But anyway, and then we got 5-headed dragon and First of the Dragons. Pretty much just your Dragon Mirror targets. Not really anything to explain there. And then we have 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. It's a chain energy for your opponent, and it allows you to recycle your Red Eyes Vanillas in the grave. And it's got 2800 attack, 2400 defense, so no real complaints there. We got Master Blades in case we need it, because it's Master Blades. We got Double Dracosac. This is actually what I make a majority of the time whenever I do go into rank 7s, just because Dracosac is so good. And then we've got Big Eye, Castel, Delahan, and then also Crimson Blader, because we are running Valor. And then this is supposed to be, instead of a 2nd First of the Dragons, it's supposed to be a number 101 Silent Honor Arc. And I know I have one, but for the love of God, I cannot find it. So that's the deck, you guys. 40 card main deck, 15 card extra deck. Yeah, so hopefully you guys did enjoy this. A like or favorite would be appreciated. Please give me some suggestions in the comments, because I want to make this deck competitive. I'm really hoping that it tops YCS Toronto, just so that we Red Eyes players have like a solidified build to go off of, because I don't want to say I don't know what I'm doing with the deck, because I do know what I'm doing with the deck, but in regards just to trying to deck build this damn thing, like, there's so many different ways that you can go about doing it that it's just insane. So, you know, if you guys want more of an aggro build, you know, play my build. If you guys want more of a control build, you might want to go with the wow, that was kind of a fail, but anyway, if you guys want more of a control build, use the Ritual build, an aggro build, use the Exceeder Fusion build. Just don't use the Red Eyes Black Dragon Sword build with Claw of Hermos, because that build is trash. Red Eye's Black Dragon Sword has to equip to something, so if only your opponent has face-up monsters, then you just lost a fusion monster that you kind of wasted too many resources for anyway. So, anyways, that's it, you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will speak to you guys soon.